one.
Hello, mustard lovers. I'm Barry Levinson, founder and curator of the National Mustard Museum, and I'm here to help you decide which is the best grainy mustard. Grainy mustards with great texture created by using the whole mustard seed, are popular these days, but they're not new. To the contrary, when mustard as a condiment first came on the culinary scene, all mustards were grainy. The mustard seed, being very small and pretty tough, doesn't lend itself to being ground into a smooth, finished product. When you pulverize a handful of mustards with a mortar and pestle, you'll see what I mean. You can grind and grind and grind, but you'll never achieve the silky smooth texture that modern yellow and Dijon mustards have today. The first semi-mechanical device for grinding mustards and other grains, called a quern, Q-U-E-R-N, a word every expert Scrabble player knows, could never achieve the smoothness that we know today. In a way, it's similar to bread. Before modern technology made the baking of white bread so easy, everyone ate whole grain bread. Then white bread was something only the rich could afford. Of course, now we know that whole grain bread is probably healthier than its smooth, pale cousin. So health-conscious eaters now, rich and poor, choose often the nutritionally superior whole grain bread. Now, occasionally you'll also find what we call whole seed mustards. These mustards contain the whole unbruised mustard seed. They resemble caviar in appearance, as the seeds left whole plump up when they sit in liquid. Grainy mustards, sometimes called whole grain mustards, or in French, moutarde en grain, or sometimes moutarde à l'ancienne, old-fashioned mustard, have their own category at the annual worldwide mustard competition. So which is the best whole grain mustard? Now, since I have been directing the competition every year since 1995, 2 grainy mustards have won the Grand Champion Award at the mustard competition. Pommery Moutarde de Meaux from France won in 2019, and Boetje from Rock Island, Illinois, from the United States, to be more specific, took top honors in 2016. So they may be deemed to be the best grainy mustards in the world. Before I reveal which of these mustards is the very best, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about 2 honorable mentions, 2 grainy mustards that could well have been grand champions. From the town of Beaune, about 35 kilometers south of the city of Dijon, we have this Edmond Fallow Moutarde en grain. By the way, Edmond Fallow won the Grand Champion Award in 2018 for its walnut Dijon mustard and makes some of the best mustards in the Dijon region. Second honorable mention goes to Lowensenf of Germany. I guess this just goes to show that every country is making good grainy mustards these days. Well, let's get to the main attraction, Boetje versus Pommery. First, consider the ingredients. Boetje has only 5 ingredients: water, vinegar, mustard seed, sugar, and salt. Pommery Moutarde de Meaux, and you should know that even though this is a French mustard, it is not from the Dijon region, so it cannot be called a Dijon mustard. It is also made with just 5 ingredients: water, vinegar, mustard seeds, salt, and spices. Both mustards have more than a dollop of history behind them. Boetje's dates back to 1889. Pommery Moutarde de Meaux traces its origin to 1632. At the National Mustard Museum, an 8.5-ounce glass jar of Boetje sells for $5.25 or 62 cents per ounce. This giant, big 500-gram or 17.6-ounce crock sells for $22, about twice the price of Boetje's per ounce. Now that may seem expensive, but the Pommery traditional stoneware crock is itself a collector's item, I have seen empty crocks sell for $20 and more on eBay. Besides, would you spend $22 for a good bottle of wine? Of course you would. For a great bottle of wine, even more. Now, how many dinners will that wine last? 1, 2 at most. These mustards will last for many dinners, proving beyond any doubt that even relatively expensive mustards are a good bargain. But let's taste. Okay, first the Pommery mustard. It's not sharp, but it has a certain complexity. Oh, it has a great mouthfeel, and I can understand why chefs around the world swoon for this mustard. Now, a restaurant in Aruba that I visited served a mustard soup, and I asked the chef for the recipe, the mustard he used, and he insisted there could be no substitute for it: Pommery Moutarde de Meaux. The Boetje's mustard. Definitely more of a bite, both in the mouth and the nose. That's not horseradish, but it seems to create a similar sensation. Apparently, that is the brown mustard seed working its magic. Of course, here at the Must Museum, we get Boetje's direct from the plant, and it's always very fresh. And maybe that explains why it's always so strong. Also, a great mouthfeel. Perhaps not as complex, but I can see why this is also considered a great deli mustard. Wow. They are certainly similar in that they're both grainy mustards, but they're also very different in taste and texture. Well, which is better? I can tell you there is a jar of each in my refrigerator. You can't go wrong with either one. So how would you use these or any grainy mustards? They're excellent with cheese, also on a baked potato or in mashed potatoes. The contrast in textures, the rough texture of the mustard provides a welcome counterpoint to the smooth texture of cheese and potatoes. Also, they're great with fish, in sauces, and in dressings. As for sandwiches, superb! In fact, the Boetje's mustard won a gold medal in 2020 for Best Deli Mustard. Whoa! Now you can buy any of these 4 mustards at the National Must Museum online shop. So see the links below. I urge you to taste them for yourself and decide which is the best mustard. Well, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. We'll have more mustard tastings and more mustardy videos coming up. As we say at the Mustard Museum, hasta la mustard, baby!